To discuss these and the other sexual harassment allegations that have broken just overnight, I'm joined now by NBC's Cynthia McFadden and Stephanie Gosk. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Megan.
Welcome. All right, so let's start with Franco. So the LA Times, today we have 5 women in the LA Times. Is that about it?
I think you've got it. Now, we should say Ali Sheehy took down the tweet that she tweeted out that first night. We don't know why.
So the nature of the allegations is what? When he was running the acting school, he was inappropriate with the young students?
Yeah, that he forced him being out on the internet.
Which is not what they expected.
Right. One of them, an orgy, they say.
That they were shooting an orgy scene, without getting too graphic, that he took the orgy scene to inappropriate places. The women thought it would be acting and that they would be protected in certain ways that he...
Because talk about even. Because by definition, you don't have witnesses. This happens in private. So obviously in the week, we'll see.
Russell Simmons also says that. Yeah. Russell Simmons also says he's a changed man and he's going to own his bad behavior. And
Russell Simmons now is under investigation in NYPD here in New York for rape. The 2 women have come forward. They've launched a criminal investigation. And
criminal investigation now against Russell Simmons.
Right. And these allegations are not true. If there is no evidence to prove that they are true, then the system won't convict him. But when you now consumed voraciously in this climate, the people that have to start asking their questions...
They don't have due process.
In this scorched earth climate that we live in, there's going to be collateral damage. And what do you do if you are an innocent person falsely accused? And I don't have a good answer to that.
Well, and there's one approach
saying that a woman who had worked for him 32 years ago said that he had behaved inappropriately in the office. She says, the accuser, who we don't know who it is, the accuser also says there wasn't anything physical environment. And she also, at the end, she says he also masturbated in front of her.
That's you buried the lead.
Yeah. Well, and there you go. I did think she could have absented herself. None of this was directed toward her, and she acknowledged that. Legally, I'm not sure. It's always nice to control the narrative, and if you set it out there first, maybe you can help do that. I think here's why I think he did it. He's got little kids. He's got a wife, and the drip, drip, drip of this, I think, got to him. He alluded to that too. You can imagine what it must feel like.
Terrible. Terrible. But, the problem is, you whip open your bathrobe. She is there for business purposes. Yeah. What on earth would make you think is shared feelings?
Right.
It's, I'm sorry he's having pain, Charlie and the others. That's what that was alleged in the Charlie Rose case. The crusty ball. I don't know. Whoever coined that phrase was a genius. It really brings it home.
There's a book title there, yes.
But the point about due process is that any of it is right. All of these men have been accused of disrespecting women, but it is not the same. Our criminal justice system, to your point, recognizes the difference between a rape and
themselves with their stories. And those reports were reported out for months and years in some to it. And that's a different climate. And we have to reevaluate if that's the world we want.
The case becomes much more compelling. I want to get to this. Yesterday, we talked about the headline in the news, which was Michelle Williams got $1,000 to reshoot some of the scenes of All the Money in the World, that movie that they had to redo because of Kevin Spacey. And actor Mark Wahlberg got paid $1.5 million to reshoot it. Gender pay for based on a man or woman. Today, we know a little more.
Yeah, it's a little tricky because Michelle Williams said publicly that she wanted this movie out and that she was willing to donate, in her words, donate her vacation and her salary in order to make sure that it got done and got not so much.
Want to get paid.
He negotiated. And, I think there is a question about whether she knew that he was getting paid. But it's worth noting that a lot of men also donated their salaries, including the director, Ridley Scott. He wasn't paid for this either. And some of the other male actors. I'm not sure it's a great example of gender inequality, though I want to say loudly and clearly, we got to do better. I was looking some stuff up. I know you know this. I love this. 1963 was when the Equal Pay Act was passed. And
remove some of the things like, okay, she took 3 years off to raise her child or whatever. Even when you remove those from the equal pay calculation, I think is the answer.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon, right.